My name is Felicia Cheek, and thank you for joining us this morning. I have been with Oracle for almost 3 years. I've been working in global payroll strategy and consulting for the last 20 years. I am super excited today to share with you some of the things that we're doing here at Oracle to enable payment of your employees in countries across the globe. Hey, so today our session is paying your global workforce from a single solution. I know this is a challenge for most organizations. So again, we're excited and we have really been working on lots of things to make sure that you can pay your employees. And our payroll strategy is designed to enable payment of employees in countries across the globe. So I want to start with, how do you use Oracle Payroll to pay your employees in countries across the globe? We have several ways of doing that. The first is our Cloud Payroll, and I'll talk in more detail about each of these ways in a little bit. The second option that we have is our Payroll Core solution. And then we have payroll for ERP. And if you have employees that are that you're paying through a third-party payroll system, we have a payroll interface. And then we also have Payroll Connect. So let's look at the detail of these solutions. So first, let's start with Oracle Cloud Payroll. Oracle has more cloud payrolls than any other major cloud HCM solution. That's great, right? And so when we look at our cloud payroll, we have payroll available in 10 countries with 3 more planned. And so you can see those countries. We have Bahrain payroll, we have Canada, China. We are going to be working on France payroll. So we introduced that. You probably heard an announcement about it or saw an announcement about our French payroll. Really excited about that. We have India payroll coming in 2023, the first half of 2023. Lots of excitement about the India payroll. We also have a Kuwait payroll. We have Mexico. We have Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Again, these are all of our cloud payrolls that are native to our solution. And then we have our next product, which is our Payroll Core product. Payroll Core uses the engine of our cloud payroll. So all of the capabilities like retro pay, your reports, all of the core capabilities are included in Payroll Core, but it is a flexible option that customers can use to configure the local payroll rules. And we have this available for certain markets and some countries. The markets that we have it available for now are IGOs and NGOs. As many of you know, intergovernmental organizations and non-governmental organizations like the United Nations have separate payrolls that are not subject, their employees are not subject to local legislation. So in those cases, they want to be able to configure the payrolls, and Payroll Core is a great solution for that. We also have some countries, like you can see here, the Philippines, we have Egypt, and we have Jordan, where the local legislative or payrolls are pretty simple and don't have a lot of changes, and they can be maintained by you, the customer. And so Payroll Core is a good solution for these countries as well. One of the things that I do want to add here is we have identified several countries on a high level that are good candidates for Payroll Core. So this is a list that will continue to grow. The next solution that we have is payroll for ERP. And this is really exciting. Lots of times we have had customers and prospects come to us and they don't have our HCM system, but they are not happy with the payroll solution they have. And they have us for their ERP. So we have created payroll for ERP in certain countries. It's in the United Kingdom and it's in the United States. Again, this is our regular cloud payroll. The only difference is customers have to interface the HR data that's required to process payroll from their HCM solution into our payroll solution. And again, payroll is integrated with the ERP system. So in those organizations where payroll owns finance, this is a great solution because you have all of your payroll data with the other financial data. The next option that we have for those organizations that are not able to use any of our payroll solutions and they're using a third-party solution, we have our payroll interface. The payroll interface is a flexible integration. You can use it with our certified partners, and those are partners that have worked with Oracle to certify the interface, and on an ongoing basis, they work with us to maintain that, so less work for you, the customer. And or you can use this payroll interface with any third party that you choose. And in that case, you would be responsible for working directly with the third party to configure and maintain the interface. The other thing about the payroll interface is it is included with our Cloud HCM solution at no additional cost. Some of the features of the interface is it is effective dated, so it's got effective dated functionality. We do have some custom fields, so you can modify it or use those custom fields to accommodate things that are specific to your organization. We also include reconciliation reports, so you can make sure that the data that's coming from Cloud HCM is exactly the data that you need to include in the payroll system, so you can reconcile that data, good for audit purposes as well. And it also has bi-directional capabilities. So I think this is exciting because in a global environment, lots of times your employees receive pay slips based on the third-party payroll. So every employee, based on their location, they have a different solution. So with the bi-directional capabilities, all of your employees can look at their pay slips in Oracle Cloud HCM, creating that one solution for everybody, regardless of where they live in the world. They have the same employee experience. And then the next solution that we have for when you're using a third party is Payroll Connect. Payroll Connect focuses on a single user experience, and it has all of the functionality that we have in our payroll interface, but it also has two additional features. It has real-time functionality, and so there are certain fields, right? We recognize this is payroll, and every transaction doesn't have to be in real time, but there are some key transactions that impact the efficiency of the payroll organization, like the new hire transaction or the termination transaction, that are available in real time. And then we have embedded user interface. And this embedded user interface functionality is really exciting. Customers are super, super excited about using it, both from an administrator perspective as well as from an employee perspective. And so what this means from an administrator perspective, we all know that from time to time, there is certain data that it resides in the third-party payroll system, and it's not included in the Cloud HCM system. In those cases, you can actually use Oracle Cloud HCM and access the third-party payroll system. And so it creates that seamless user experience. You're not having to go from system to system. From an employee perspective, as it relates to self-service, from time to time, there are some entries that are specific to the country. And when that happens and it has to be entered in the third-party system, then you can go into Cloud HCM again, and you can access the third-party system. And we're using single sign-on in the background. So again, creating that single user experience. This is really saving a lot of time, and it creates it has the ability to create that one user experience without having to move from system to system. So really exciting things that we've done there. And then finally, I just wanted to just kind of summarize our payroll strategy. Again, enables the payment of employees across the globe. And so regardless of the countries that we have in our Cloud Payroll, if you don't see a country there that you're paying employees, we may have Payroll Core as an option, or you can use our payroll interface. With our payroll interface, we do have partners, so we have third parties that we are working with to certify. We're configuring the system, and we are certifying and maintaining that interface with those third parties on an ongoing basis. So some of the things I want to share with you is some strategies for success. And so as with any global payroll strategy, you want to determine what your strategy is before you start looking at the solution. And you want to look at if you want your strategy to be different on a global basis versus a regional basis versus a local basis. So all of those things are important, and they actually help us best fit this solution for your organization. The other thing you want to do is decide if you will use Oracle certified partners. We encourage you to. Some of our certified partners are ADP, and specifically it's ADP Global Payroll, which includes ADP Global View and Celergo. We also work with Ascender, we work with Amidas, we work with Ramco, and we work with Zalaris. We're also in the process of certifying Alight, Miyamo, CloudPay. So there's a couple of other payrolls that we are working with. Actually, there's many other payrolls that we have lined up to be part of our ecosystem. So you're going to see this grow. And again, that's if you decide to work with Oracle certified partners. And the other thing is, if you decide that you're not going to work with Oracle certified partners, you want to ensure the third-party payroll provider that you work with uses the Oracle standard interface. And that's important for you because it makes it easier to support and maintain on an ongoing basis. The last thing I want to talk about in a strategy for success is you want to determine your sourcing preference. If you can determine how you want to source for each country, if you want in-house processing or you want an outsourced services, that will be very helpful. And for us, if you're using Oracle certified partners, we can make great recommendations for you. Also, you want to look at minimum thresholds when you're looking at that sourcing strategy. If you're what we see some organizations for any of our countries where we have more than 500 employees, then we will possibly process in-house. If we have less than 500 employees, then we're going to look for a third party that provides managed services and they can do everything outsourced. That threshold could be 1,000 employees per country. And so that's something you want to think about as well. So these are just some of the strategies for success that I wanted to leave you with, because once you know these things and the more you know, the easier it is for us to fit our solution into your environment. So again, I want to thank you for your time today. My name is Felicia Cheek. I'm the Director of Cloud Payroll Strategy. And if you want to contact me, if you have additional questions, my contact information is on the slide that you see. Thanks, everyone.